Well, hey, YouTube. I have said before that in the history of camping gear, as I get close to the end of the history of camping gear, I'm going to be going back and filling in the cracks in the timeline of camping gear, or adding in certain little artifacts and things like that that I've come across. And in this case, I have come across something that has caused me to revise an earlier video. It is called the hoity-toity sleeping bag, and it was about the Jaeger sleeping bag made by the Jaeger company between 1890 and about 1925. It's an interesting story. It's one of my older videos, and what I'm going to have to change on it is this picture down here. When I first did it, I was under the impression that this picture showed an early Jaeger sleeping bag, when in fact it showed one of these. This is the blanket bag, what they call the blanket bag. It is a combination blanket and sleeping bag. Okay. Now, you should go back and watch the hoity-toity sleeping bag video. I will link that to at the end of this video. When you see the old man going down the trail, there will be a link to a video called the hoity-toity sleeping bag. I made it about 2 years ago. Okay. Watch that. But right now, what I want to do is, before you, so that you don't get distracted, let me go ahead and add in the relevant portion just so that you know a little bit about the Jaeger company and Professor Jaeger. And that's his name right there, Professor Jaeger. And then we're going to go into the living room and show you what's special about this. Okay, so back in 1883, this guy, Gustav Jaeger, wrote this book. And this guy, Louis Tomlin, he's the one with the beard, read the book and was so impressed by it that he had translated the book into English and then asked Dr. Jaeger if he would license his name so that he could produce products based on the theories that Dr. Jaeger had put out in the book. Okay, so now we've got that out of the way. Let me show this to you again here. And what we're going to do is I set up a bunch of tables in my living room. Had to move the living room all around to get this done so that I could lay this thing out and show it to you. And show you how the company, how I devised a way to turn this into a good sleeping bag that mimics the Jaeger sleeping bag, in that it is 3 thicknesses of camel hair wool, 2 of which you can put on top of you, 1 below you, or you can sleep in it with 1 over you and 2 below. Let's go out into the living room and watch me mess around with a bunch of camel hair. Okay, here it is all laid out. I had to bring some extra tables out to set this up. My living room is a mess right now, but I wanted to lay this whole thing out. It is 85 inches long and 65 inches wide. This table is 60 inches wide, so it hangs over the edge just a little bit. This is what's called the Greek key. Now, it has a row of buttons going across the width of the blanket that is 27 inches away from the end. Okay. Then it also has a row of buttons, about that far from the edge, of the same size, these same large size buttons. Actually, I take that back. There are three sides. No, never mind. They're all the same size. This one appears to be a replacement. But there are 1, 2, 3 extra buttons on this side. Okay, so you go 1, 2, 3 buttons, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I believe there's another one hanging over the edge. Okay, and then here we've got these 3 small buttons, which that was the confuscating part. I was trying to figure out what these are. Now we'll come around the other side, and I'll show you the logo here. Guarantee Dr. Cust. I think that's Dr. Customer, but I don't know. Professor Jaeger. Okay, that's probably some kind of French or German or other kind of lingo that ain't Texican, so I don't understand it. But it's 85 inches long, and let me just come over here and show you the reinforcing that is done on all these buttonholes. And we'll come in here and show you a close-up of these buttonholes here in this corner. Come up just a little bit, and you can see how much they're staggered. They're in an irregular pattern, okay, in this corner. And I'll get another close-up here to show you the tufting that is done to hold the buttons in place. Okay, so this thing is a little ungainly now. I wanted to show it to you on this side so I could show you the basic features. What I'm going to do now is take a minute and flip it over on its other side, which is the secret to folding this. I'm also going to be turning it 90 degrees so that we can fold it and see the full length of it. Let me get right back with you. Okay, now we've turned this 90 degrees. The length now goes this way, and the width goes this way. And I have turned it upside down with the buttons facing down. And the first step is to fold the bag so that the buttons appear and are on the top. Okay, and we'll pull that. Now this is, again, this is roughly about 60 some odd inches long. Now, okay, we're going to do some walking here. Now, we fold the bag over one more time. Straighten it out. And I'm going to tell you, I am not going to button a lot of these buttons. The thread can be delicate. I don't want any more buttons to fall off. I'm going to point out that here in this corner up here, there is the remains of a button. The button has fallen off. And there is a buttonhole up here in this corner that button would tie to. Okay? And that would keep your sleeping bag closed on one shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to button that one up here at the top. I'll be right back. And then what I won't be doing is button any of those in the middle. I'll just line everything up and button this one here at the bottom. Now you're sitting there and you're telling me, you're saying, Sarge, there's no button showing, just buttonholes. Okay, well, that's kind of where the genius of this little jewel shows itself. Let me set up another camera so I can get some close-ups of this part. Okay, we've got our second close-up camera set up. It's kind of cute, ain't it? All right, the first
thing to do, and it took me a long while to figure this out. Don't button your bottom button. Fold this out like this. Okay? Then fold this in. Like so. Get it as close to the buttons as you can. Then come over here and button it once. Again, these are pretty tough. I don't want to booger them up. Okay, I'm not going to do all of them, but there's one that goes here. Then fold this over like so and button it through on this side. And then, and I'll pull this up a little bit, hopefully it'll catch. You fold it over one more time and you have exposed these smaller buttons here, and you button those. And what that has done is you have got a very nice, solid, encased foot box. Your feet are not going to stick out. You've got a folded edge on this side, so you're protected from breezes and air intrusion on this side. You're folded over here on this side, same thing. You have got two thicknesses of blanket above you and one below you, which mirrors the performance of the actual Jaeger bag. Now again, this thing is only about 63, 64 inches long once it's all folded up. So it's not a full bag. You would need to wear, and if you look at the advertising, you wear a hood to protect your head from the cold, and maybe a jacket or something to protect your shoulders. But this is a neat dual-purpose camping item in that it can be used as a blanket, but it can also be used as a sleeping bag. Okay, well there you go. I passed up on one of these several years ago because I didn't know what it was, and now that I do know what it is, I snatched it up as soon as I saw it. I'm going to try to replicate this bag. I can't reproduce it because I can't, if I was to make this out of camel hair, it would cost a cajillion dollars. But I think we can make a wool bag like this, okay? It'd be a little bit easier in one respect than making a Jaeger bag, a reproduction of a Jaeger bag, a replication of a Jaeger bag. And in another way, it'd be a little bit more difficult. We'll get into that when I get to doing it, okay? One other thing you might notice over here on the bench here, I've got another project in the works. If you're a member of Bannerman's Camp, you may have seen this. This is a big old hunk of sheepskin. And Sean Dyer of Traditional Camp Crafters, he was talking about how early 20th century backpacks don't have the same kind of padding on the shoulders that we do, and that's true. They did not. It was something that added more expense to manufacturing, so they didn't. But there were aftermarket accessories that were available, as I'll show you here on this picture of a European bag called Haglofs from the 1930s. And what I did was I found a place where I could get some sheepskin,
and make, this is a mock-up here, I haven't riveted it together, but these will be sheepskin shoulder pads that can fit on up to 1.5 inch wide early 20th century shoulder straps without padding, to give you some padding. It is a period, a little slippery, it is a period correct solution to this problem. I've got enough material here right now, I think, to make about a half dozen or more pair of these. I'll be making 1 pair for myself. The others I will probably put up for sale on the Bannerman's Camp site, or I may revive an old sales site that I stopped making reproductions several years ago, but I might open up Vico Ranch and Expedition Outfitters on Facebook and sell these and some of the stuff that I've been making around here that I've either made something better and it's just sitting around. So I may put that kind of thing up here. Now, I'm not going all commercial on you. All I've got is a bunch of crap I need to get rid of. And it might do you some good. It might help you with an early 20th century impression. Okay? I'm not trying to get rich. I like making things. Okay? And this is one of them. Okay? Alrighty? Alright, wait for that video to show up here at the end of this so that you can click on it and watch all about the Jaeger bags. The early stuff that I did early in the channel doesn't see as many views as the stuff that I release. So, and in a couple of weeks, I will be re-releasing that with some corrected information. Alrighty? We'll see you down the trail.